Controller of the Crab Nebula, on a slag heap of smoldering metal under the white-hot skies, channels all his pain into controlled thinking. He is protected by heat and crab guards, and the brains armed now with a blazing photo from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The brains under his control are encased in a vast structure of steel and crystal, spinning thought patterns that control whole galaxies 1,000 years ahead on the chessboard of virus screens in juxtaposition formula. So the insect people of Minrao formed an alliance with the virus power of the vegetable people to occupy planet Earth. The gimmick is reverse photosynthesis. The vegetable people suck up oxygen and all equivalent sustenance of animal life. Always the colorless smell between you and what you see, taste, touch, smell, eat. And these green vegetable junkies slowly using up your oxygen to stay on the nod in carbon dioxide. When K9 entered the cafe, he felt the colorless smell of the vegetable people closing round him, taste and sharpness gone from the food, people blurring in slow motion fade out. And there was a whole tank full of vegetable junkies breathing it all in. He clicked some reverse combos through the pinball machine and left the cafe. In the street, citizens were yakking like supersonic dummies. The SOS addicts had sucked up all the silence in the area, were now sitting around in blue blocks of heavy metal, the Earth's crust buckling ominously under their weight. He shrugged. Who am I to be critical? He knew what it meant to kick an SOS habit. White-hot agony of thawing metal and the suffocating panic of carbon dioxide withdrawal.
As the shot of rapamorphine cut through poisons of Milmont, he felt a tingling, burning numbness. His body coming out of deep freeze in the ovens. Then, viscera exploded in vomit. The mold of his body cracked, and he stepped free. A slender, green creature. His hands ended in black claws covered with fine magnetic wires that extended up the inner arm to the elbow. He was wearing a gas mask to breathe carbon dioxide of enemy planet. Antenna ears tuned to war horses of his city, each voice classified on a silent switchboard. Green disc eyes with pupils of a pale electric blue. Body of a hard green substance like flexible jade. Black brain and spine burned with blue sparks as messages crackled in and out. Shift body abs. Vibrate flesh. Cut tourists. The machine clicked and tilted in his hands, electric purpose cutting association lines. Enemy plans exploded in a burst of rapid calculations. Vast insect calculating machine of the enemy flashed the warning. Combat troops in the area! Combat troops to fight the insect people of Minron for control of this planet. Crab guards gathered around the machine, sliding forward to feel with white-hot claws for the human spots of weakness. He pressed closer, breathing the dry heat of Nimrod, while flying scorpion men sank stingers into empty flesh, injecting the oven poison.
Use the crab like that to satisfy their clumsy lust. Webster's platform is above
suspicion. What can you get off him? Listen on. Your mind's in a mental cemetery, Webster is saying. That's why you got peace of mind.
Bradley was in a delirium, where any sex thought immediately took three-dimensional form through a maze of Turkish baths and sex cubicles fitted with hammocks and swings, and mattresses vibrating to a shrill insect frequency that danced in nerves and teeth and bones. The sex phantoms of all his wet dreams and masturbating afternoons surrounded him, licking, kissing, feeling. From time to time he drank a heavy, sweet, translucent fluid brought by the guard. The liquid left a burning metal taste in its mouth. His lips and tongue swelled, perforated by erogenous silver sores. The skin glowed phosphorescent pink-purple, suffused by cold menthol burn so sensitive he went into orgasm at a current of air, while uncontrolled diarrhea exploded down his thighs. The guard collected all his sperm in a pulsing neon cylinder. Through transparent walls he could see hundreds of other prisoners in cubicles of a vast hive, milked for semen by the white-coated guards. The sperm collected was passed to central bank. Sometimes the prisoners were allowed contact and stuck together, melting and welding in sex positions of soft rubber. At the center of this pulsing translucent hive was a gallows, where the prisoners were hanged after being milked for 3 weeks. He could see terminal cases carried to the gallows, bodies wasted to transparent mummy flesh over soft phosphorescent bones, necks broken by the weight of suspensions, and the soft bones spurted out in orgasm, leaving a deflated skin collected by the guards to be used on the next shift of prisoners, mind and body blurred with pleasure.
Down this long, thin tube, the oviduct, and at about 72 hours after mating, passes into this larger tube, Brian Horn.
A maze of mirrors and screens reflected sex acts in slow motion to 1,000. Soundtracks shifted and permutated. Slow waves of orgasm in a muttering sea of nitrous film flesh. Slowness up to the chin now. Prostates quivering in pearly spasms. Limestone flesh over silver pools.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Martin, hear us through the hole in thin air. Thing police, all boardroom reports now are ended. Fading out in Honolulu, Newark, Aris, Austin. The great wind, revolving turrets, towers, palaces. Sound and image flakes fall. His dogs that were his eyes shut off, Mr. Bradley, Mr. Gone away, pulled the reverse switch. Place no good, no bueno.